First of all, let us be proud to be a civil engineer. I'm always talking about you should be very, very proud to be a civil engineer. You know, we do a lot of hard work when we start the construction. Without nothing will be there at the site, the hot sun, rains, and all those things. We build beautiful buildings, and somebody comes and join the buildings, and they'll have passed some comments. This crack is there, this is not there, that is not there, and all those things. But let us not be worried about that. So we are the nation builders. Wherever you go, whichever the city you go, the city represents about the buildings, the bridges, or the great structures. Built by whom? Again, a civil engineer. Designed by a civil engineer. So let us be very, very, very proud to be a civil engineer. Let us not underrate ourselves. So I think all civil engineers, let us please, let us enhance our happiness. Let us be very proud. You see, Burj Khalifa is built by whom? Designed by whom? Again, civil engineers. Underwater, there is a, I mean, deep underwater, the railway lines are there. Again, by whom? Civil engineers. So let us be very, very proud to be a civil engineer. Then you're talking about the global trends in civil engineering and infrastructure. That's today's subject. So I don't want to touch upon too much on that because there are many civil engineers. There are a lot of many people are going to be talked about that. Having traveled across the globe, many countries, maybe around 20 countries, I traveled. The trends. There are a lot of technologies being used across the country. With, I mean, you must have seen within 8 days, fifth-story building is built. Then a lot of things. Burj Khalifa is built in very shortest time. And here we take building a five-story building, we take 2 years, 20-story building, 5 years, 4 years, like that. So a lot of transformation is required in Indian construction, especially now the COVID, the pandemic. I have to tell thanks to COVID. Because of COVID, today we are having a webinar talking to more than 200 people at one time. Otherwise, this idea would have not come. We have been doing a lot of webinars through I mean, these webinars, I mean, with a huge participation, the 1,000, 2,000 people also are being participated in one webinar. The one message is going to all across. Thanks to COVID, we have to learn many things from this. The technology is being implemented. And you know how the migrant labor are traveling, very sad to the nation also. How people are traveling hundreds of kilometers, just they are going on foot. I mean, it's very pathetic. Everyone are responsible for that. Not only government, even as a citizens, should also take as a corporate entrepreneur, I should also take the responsibility of that. That's a very bad sign. You see, without workers, it is very difficult for us to construct a building here, especially in India. Technology is very, very less used. Of course, recently many people are using that in shuttering in a different fashion, slip form shuttering, then aluminum formwork, where the lot of speed is there now. 7 days, 10 days, we are able to do the slabs and with the concrete walls and all those things. But this is limited to only high-rise buildings, whereas multi-storied, we have 20, 30 floors buildings where the reputation comes and the investment will be, I mean, the moment the project is completed, their half of their investment will be done in that. So the challenge is for the smaller developers, small and medium developers. We as a civil engineers, I address here that I think there may be many, I heard that there are many professors and assistant professors, many are attending this webinar. I request everyone to look into that. Some technology we should bring here. Some research has to be done. We have to spend some money on the research. We from CREDAI are ready to spend some money on the research to speed up the construction with the engaging minimum workforce. So let us take this as an opportunity and use these things, and we'll go ahead with that. Let us all put our best efforts to go for the technology-based construction, wherein minimum workforce is engaged. So let us try that. So as being a civil engineers, let us all put our best efforts to some research. I mean, it's not only, it's now the big builders and all, they are able to execute the projects. Its problem is with the small and medium developers. So let us do something for that. Then it comes to engineering. As a civil engineers, opportunities are there. I think trends you're talking about it. A lot of opportunities are there in India. Also, a lot of infrastructure is being built. Even you look at Hyderabad, how many structures are coming up? Millions of square feet is being constructed. A lot of irrigation projects have come up. So we have a lot of job opportunities are there for us. So many people are opting civil engineering the college and they are moving away from civil engineering to some other faculty. I mean, they are immediately turning into IT and they are doing IT jobs, study civil engineering, but doing something else. That may not be right. Now the salaries also been improved, but the biggest challenge and problem is we are not getting it today. Also, we are not getting the right civil engineers. When you interview who came from the college, I'm very surprised and unhappy, sad to say that people doesn't know what is the theodolite, the least count of the theodolite, and what is the. I mean, they're very some numbers also they will not be able to tell. The way in which they are putting their efforts in the this thing is very poor. I think the management, the professors, assistant professors who are here should also to look into that and take some responsibility to bring out the best in the students also. They should be ready to take a job when they enter to the practical things also you're supposed to engage them in during the construction, during the studies also 4 years when you're studying them, you should engage them in practical construct. They should go to the construction site and they should learn what is cement, what is concreting, what is brick, how the size of the bricks, and all they should be known all those things. They should be taught while studying only. This is going to help them when you are entering the job. We are facing acute shortage of good civil engineers. That also is there. One side we are talking about there is no employment. Other side we are facing the shortage of good civil engineers. So I think I request all the managements and the professors and assistant professors to look into this seriously and bring the best engineers, means best civil engineers. That's one side. So then I would like to talk about. I think my journey. I started as a civil engineer. I started my career with a small, I mean, those days, BNR Developers, the construction company, was there where I worked for 9 months. Then I moved to Amruta Estates. Then I worked for 3 years there. So there also, when I went at the project, I didn't know what is the food. Practically, I never saw the foundation, how it is laid, reinforcement, how it is laid. I never saw that. The first time I entered there, within 3 months, I was forced to become the project in charge. It's a big building, 125,000 square feet in 1989, not sorry, 87. So 3 years I worked there. I successfully completed that building. Then I started my career in a BDL Banur Medak district with 1.5 lakh rupees contract. There again, within 2 years, we were able to complete more than 1.1 crores worth of contract. Then we did Department of Science and Technology, then aerospace, then we did a lot of works in Latur earthquake rehabilitation project. So we faced a lot of challenges in this thing. I want to share with you that success only seen when one person where he started and where you are, the only success will be seen. But behind every success, there are many failures also. I started my company in 1989. In 1997, because of various reasons, I don't want to details, but my company has become zero. But I never stepped back. So again, I started my this thing. Today we have grown to this stage. Recently, we celebrated 30 years. Last December, we have celebrated 30 years of our company, wherein we have launched a vision also. I think we just saw the vision video, but it's not a proper audible and all. We have launched a vision video saying that we are going to be a company now. It is a less than 100 crores turnover, is aiming to become 5,000 crore company by 2030. How is it possible? Unless we have a goal and vision and you're working towards hardly for that, it is not possible. But yes, unless you dream, unless you have an aim, unless you have a vision, you can't even think of going for big targets. Yes, our company has a vision. We have launched the vision. Our we have a core value of the company, OATH, OATH, openness, accountability, trust, and happiness. These are the four core values of our company. So we are banking on those core values without compromising. 30 years of journey, you can just go through our website or you can go through our reviews. You'll be knowing what is ARC Group that stands. As already mentioned, we received many awards. Our projects, many awards from the chief ministers, three chief ministers, then governor, and all those things. Apart from that, our residence project, which we did, all of our major projects got CRISIL 5-star rated projects. I think star rating is start from 1 to 7. We got 5-star rating for all our major projects. Just see the quality, and they look into many angles, and we have been awarded that. So this is possible only because of our commitment from our team. In team, we are almost women. From the inception of the company, there are people working with our company. There are people who are there for more than 20 years in my company. So we believe in strong relations. So that is how the companies have been built. Company has been built, and we are sure of reaching our goal. So for every person, you need a goal and aim to be successful. So I have a small presentation so that we can call it as a motivational points. I have a 10 points wherein you can just have a look at that 10 points, and I'll be talking about that. Just give me a time. Can you all see this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, we are seeing, sir.
Okay. Okay. So the first one is wake up every day with a purpose. So every person, you should have a purpose to wake up. The moment you wake up, what are you going to do today? You plan. So without purpose, just waking up, just ordinary man like, I think it is difficult to be successful. So every day you wake up with one purpose, any purpose. I mean, somebody is doing the job, somebody is doing business, somebody is going to college, everybody has got their own purposes, but you have to define your purpose and you should go wake up every day with a purpose. Then make a commitment to yourself to achieve a goal. So anybody without commitment, can they achieve the goal? Nobody can achieve the goal without a commitment. First of all, you make a commitment. Yes, I wanted to do this by this time. Definitely, you're going to achieve that goal. Unless you have a commitment to yourself, not any person, any goal. Yes, I want to achieve this goal. Everybody has got different goals. With the 200 people are here, 200 people have different goals. So you should make a commitment to achieve a goal. Then a goal is a dream with a clear direction, plan of action, and deadline. Unless you have these things, a goal is not going to be achieved. You should have a clear direction, which direction you wanted to go. Then plan of action. First, you have to decide the direction. Then you should have a plan of action. How to reach the goal. And then you should have a deadline also. Unless you have a deadline, it is difficult to reach a goal. Then, if it won't challenge you, it won't change you. Unless if a challenge is there, then only it makes a change. Anything, you should have a challenge. If there is no challenge, there is no change. So routine things are moving on. Where is the change? Change won't happen. So you should have always a challenge. Then we need skill and will to succeed actually. So without you have a skill, don't have will, it is difficult to become successful. If you have will but no skill, it is difficult to succeed. So you should have both skill and will, both you should have. Then only can be successful. In life, direction is more important than time. Every time you talk about no time and all. Unless you have a direction, whatever the time you have, it is not useful to you. You should have a proper direction. It is very important. It is more important than time also. You have time but no direction. So you will not be able to become successful. Then reflection is the process of learning. Everybody does mistakes in their life. Everyone. I mean, there is no one. I think without mistakes, they can run their life. They can continue their life. But reflection is most important. Unless you reflect yourself, it is very difficult. Every day morning when you, I mean, getting ready, you always see how I'm dressed, how I'm putting my bindi, whether I'm looking good and all those things. You reflect yourself to be good. When you're giving so much importance to your body, but you should give it to your inner also. It is known to you only. You have to reflect yourself only. Everybody sees only outside what's happening, but inside it's the person you only know what exactly is there within you. You reflect yourself and learn the things from that. So definitely it's going to help you. Then opportunities, you talk about opportunities. If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. Opportunity always doesn't come to you. You have to look for the opportunity. You search for the opportunity. So unless, oh, I'm not getting an opportunity, I'm not getting a job, I'm not getting this thing, my college is not running well. So many problems. Everybody has the problems. But you have to look for the opportunity, search for the opportunity, to explore the opportunities. Unless you do that, it is difficult. Then we do all these things. Ignoring the important things will lead to urgency. Always very important thing is that, but we ignore that. Then it becomes urgency. So when you plan a travel, so you don't plan in before, you ignore the things. Suddenly, by the flight time, train time is there, and you're always urgency. And all. So always you don't ignore the things. Plan well. Don't import. There are very important thing. You should plan before only everything. Then casual attitude always leads to casualty. Casual attitude it leads to really fatal also sometimes. So never should have a casual attitude. Always be attentive. So you should be very attentive to when you're doing the things. Otherwise, it is difficult for you. Then beat your own records every day too, because success is a fight between you and yourself. Every day you should think about yourself. Beat your own records. Today I did something. If you beat your own record, how everybody has got their own challenges. Everybody, I mean, if one person has one challenge, other person has another challenge. You have yourself. I mean, assess yourself. What is the challenges for you? What makes you a difference? So improve every day. Improve. Try to improve. Beat your own records. Greatest coaches are the greatest critics. Greatest critics. Unless, I mean, a coach is very tough, it is difficult. So you should think about that also. So somebody is criticizing you, should never take it as a negative thing. So greatest critics will always will be the greatest coaches. So lecturers, principal, all people, sometimes they criticize you, you take this thing. Any player who become top without the coach is criticizing him, it is impossible. Take Sachin Tendulkar, you name anyone, unless a tough coach is there, that fellow will not become a top. Then I think somebody can talk about it. I think what is this shows? I think I need a response from at least from few people so that it is good for me. What is this?
So if any participants wants to speak, they can raise their hand so that I will unmute you.
You also can tell. What is this? What are you seeing on the screen?
I look, it is 13, sir.
Okay. Then only
B.
Any other person? Yeah, somebody.
B.
B.
B. Yes. Then some other person can answer this. Anybody can answer.
P. Jagannathan, you can answer, sir.
Anybody? Yeah.
Well, it looked like only B and 13.
B and 13. Yes. Any other things?
Maybe M underlined if it turned.
Yes. M underlined. Yes. Then
W with overline.
yes, exactly. W with overline. Yes.
I3.
Nagaraj Rao, you are unmuted, sir. Please, you can talk.
I3.
I3. Yes. Yeah, we got the answers 13, I3, 1, 3, W, M,
IB, sir.
I, IB, yeah. Then McDonald's symbol. So, I mean, you got so many answers, no? No.
Yes, sir.
Now let us see. What is this now?
A, B, C.
ABC.
So now everybody will tell this is B only. Will anybody will tell that it is W? Will anybody will tell that 13? Will anybody will tell that I3 and all? So everybody tells it is only B. So earlier the same number, same this thing letter, you talked in a numbers, letters and so many things. But now you are telling it's only B. Why? Because it is between A and C. So it is the reality where you want to be, how you want to be. A person now, as an individual, I am. When I am sitting with the bad people, even though I'm good, I'll be named as a bad man. I mean, I'm just giving an example. The association, what you are having, reflects on you. Where are you? So every student, every person should think about this. With whom you are associating, that makes a difference. So this is the thing. So now nobody can say that this is another, I mean, nobody can interpret in different ways. It's only B now. So this is the reality. So just think about it. Where are you now? Next is, if you want to be successful, you should have positive thoughts and positive people around you. Always, any success should begin with positive only. Unless you start with positive, it is difficult to reach your goal. I'm telling you, you should start with a positive only. If you want to be successful, you have to be always positive. The moment you think negative, it won't happen. And when you're driving towards positive, people around you, somebody is there beside you who are pushing negative to you, will it be successful? It is difficult for successful. So should always have a positive thoughts and positive people around you to become successful. Then this is the thing I just wanted to talk about myself about this. A marathon. Only to inspire you, I'm not going to boast myself or something like that. Couple of years back, I never knew what is marathon. I mean, I heard about marathon, but I was thinking that's only very, very fit people and all going to be, can run marathon and all. But one fine day, our yoga guru told that, sir, there's a marathon, can you participate? I just randomly just participated, 12.5 kilometers I ran. And it took, I think 1 hour 50 minutes for me to complete that 12.5 kilometers marathon. Then second marathon I did, 10 kilometers. It took 1 hour 21 minutes to complete 10 kilometers. Then again there is a marathon on August 24th, 2018. So there I wanted to participate in half marathon. That is 21 kilometers. Then I applied. Then they rejected. I applied with a 12.5 kilometers marathon. I applied, which is to 1 hour 53 minutes. They rejected it because they have sent a note to me saying that if you want to be qualified, if you want to participate in half marathon, you are supposed to complete 10 kilometers in 1 hour, 20 minutes. So then I sent a second one, which I did in 1 hour, 21 minutes. But fortunately, because of my Sankalpam is good, they qualified me. Even it is 1 hour, 20 minutes, they qualified me for 1 hour, 21 minutes also. Then my aim was to complete this marathon in time of 3 hours, 25 minutes. If you complete this, 3 hours, 20 minutes. If you complete this half marathon, 3 hours, 20 minutes, you will be qualified for full marathon, which is 42 kilometers. Then my first aim was to complete this half marathon within 3 hours, 15 minutes. Sorry, I'm very sorry. 3 hours, 15 minutes. The target was 3 hours, 15 minutes. So then I was just practicing. Then I had been to Bombay for some meeting, and I was in Mumbai. And the 22nd November in the Zuhu beach, I was practicing running. Then my ankle had a big problem. So it was very, very difficult for me to walk to the hotel room also. The beachside hotel was there. Next day night, 23rd night, I came to Hyderabad and no practice. 24th night, the yoga master came and I saw my situation. He told me not to participate because my ankle is a big problem. But I only told one thing to him, let me participate. Whatever the time it takes, I want to complete. I want to experience the marathon, this thing. Then next day morning, I woke up early morning. Then I was getting ready. Again, the pain was there. My wife and my daughter told, don't participate. You are going to have a big problem and all. In spite of that, what I did, I told them that I'm just going to participate. Whatever the time it's going to take, I'm not worried about the time. I'm just going to participate. Then my driver dropped me at that Necklace Road. I mean that PVR, that Prasad IMAX. Then I left and I went to the People's Plaza. Walking from there, the marathon started. Believe it or not, I'm telling you, I started there. I started running from there and finished my marathon in 3 hours, 7 minutes. 3 hours, 15 minutes the target. I finished in 3 hours, 7 minutes. And with a full joy, I danced and all in the stadium, at Gachibowli Stadium. And took photographs and I came out. Immediately after coming out of the stadium, again I could not walk. They have to hold me and to put to the next day I went to the doctor. He had shown me he has taken a X-ray. Again, to confirm that a CT scan was taken, there is a problem in the leg. Some small minor fracture is there. You see, what I'm telling, I mean, in spite of that, my Sankalpam made me to complete that marathon. Then again, November 3rd, one more marathon I want to participate. This time, I mean, I took some precautions and some physiotherapy done and all those things. This time I did in 2 hours, 47 minutes. After inspiring that, in this marathon, that November 3rd marathon, I made all my employees, all my family members, 502 or 505 people, I made them run along with me, 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, and 21 kilometers. So, I mean, it gave me a lot of strength to me, and I could not believe myself. I can do and all. So, every one of us should think this way. We look at the people that, yes, I cannot do and all. Oh, this is not my job. This is not my job and all. But practically, I'm telling you, if you have a will to do it, yes, you will improve your skills and definitely you are going to do that. So this is the example I'm going to give you. So, I mean, already told about to have a turnover of 5,000 crore by 2030. This is not a small thing. Again, we have put a target. Hopefully, with all the wishes of all my well-wishers, people like you, we are going to achieve the turnover. Thank you. So this is the one thing. And I just need, I think everybody understood what exactly is this thing. So I need 1 minute of time for giving another presentation. One second, please give me a time. Next presentation. Sorry for that. Yeah. So now I talked about to be successful, what are you to do? And recently I found this another thing. A couple of days back only I found this that I wanted to share with you. First time I'm sharing with you. There are obstacles in our life to become successful. We found this is not it's in a Patanjali yoga. It's not a ordinary thing. It we got it from a Patanjali Yoga Sutra in chapter 1 and 30th Sutra. These obstacles, 9 obstacles to our success. First thing is Vyadhi. So anybody who want to be successful with an illness, he has a disease, can he become successful? This is the first obstacle because you have to be fit enough to be successful. Every time you should be fit, physically fit. Then only you can be successful. Then dhyana, so mental inertia. Dhyana means mental inertia. Lack of interest, enthusiasm, motivation, vision, creativity. These things are going to become the obstacles. When you are planning something, if this comes alive, if you don't, it doesn't have an interest, doesn't have an enthusiasm, doesn't have a motivation, doesn't have a vision, doesn't have a creativity, how can you become successful? So mentally, you should be come out of all these things. You should have a motivation, you should have interest, you should have a vision, you should have creativity. If all these things you have, then only you can move ahead. So mental inertia should be out of mental inertia. Then సంశయ సంశయ అంటే మనందరి తెలుగులో ఉంటుంది సంశయం అంటే ఇంగ్లీష్ ఇస్ doubt. If you are doubtful for anything, can you become successful? When you start a business, when you start a lecture, when you start something, whether the students are going to take this or not, whether lecturer is going to accept my this thing or not, if the student thinks or employer thinks whether my employees are going to accept this, or employee think that my employer is going to accept this. If you have a doubt in your thing, how can you become successful? It cannot be. Then pramada, the carelessness, negligence, digression from the main goal and task. If you have a careless, how can you become successful? You should be very careful when you want to reach the goal. You have to drive carefully. If you overspeed, if you go, it will mean you will meet with an accident. You cannot reach your goal. So you should be very, very careful whatever you are doing. Recklessness, carelessness, many ways it is negligence. The moment you neglect, definitely it's not going to be successful. Then alasya, laziness. Always we put the alarm at 4 o'clock, then we put it off. Again, nowadays snooze is there in the mobile phone. Those alarms are not there now. Snooze, we'll put it. Again, it will ring after 9 minutes or 10 minutes. Again, you'll put it up. Again, you put it snoozes. You never wake up. So laziness. Every time, whatever things you wanted to be, it should be you are lazy. How can you be successful when you are lazy? When you're doing the things, if you are lazy, how can you be successful? Avirati, overindulgence for anything, continuous overindulgence of sensual pleasure. Sensual pleasure అంటే మనం ఒక టీవీ చూస్తుంటాము. Always watch TV regularly. Go on watching the TV continuously. Even in the office also, somebody puts it at the WhatsApp and they look at so many things. While working also, they look at so many things. Then how can you concentrate on your goal? How can you achieve that? So continuously, as the sensual pleasures, even if you have those things, if you are addicted to those sensual pleasures, it is difficult for you to be successful. Bhranti darshana, so this negativity. Again, you think negative. whether it's going to happen or not. When you think negative, how is going to happen? So immediately comes something into your mind of negative. This is another obstacle for you. Then alabdham, alabdham. So this means losing hope, impatient. Alabdha bhumika, rather. Alabdha bhumika means impatient. So, I mean, when you are impatient, always you lose. When you are, playing a game with other person, if you are impatient, you are going to lose. Losing hope. No interest. How can you become successful? Anavastikva, inconsistent. So unless you have a consistent thing, suppose you achieved a goal, you achieved a name, your target has been reached, then if you neglect, that will fall. You have to maintain that. Suppose a player like Tendulkar, one century has scored, Virat Kohli scored 1 century. Then if they do the careless, well, can they play next match? With the consistent efforts, they never neglected their fitness. That is the reason they were there for many years. You see other players, when you just compare with the Kumble and Kambli and Sachin Tendulkar, friends in the school, they scored the highest world record was there. But where is Vinod Kambli? He didn't put his best efforts. Consistency was there, not there in him. So where is he now? You see Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, how consistent they are for so many years. They're consistently pursuing that. They're after reaching the goal also, after reaching the top also, they're continuously maintaining that. Many examples are there. So we should always consistent. After reaching also should maintain that. Unless you maintain that, it will be difficult for successful. These are the 9 points. I think I told whatever the 10 motivational point and 9 obstacles. These are very, very important to my best of my knowledge. I hope I already spoke enough. I think I would like to take the questions. It may be useful for you if anybody wants to. It's open for everyone. So requesting everyone to, you can unmute whomever wants to talk, or they can let them talk to me. And the session is open for the discussions or. Anyone? Moderator, I think you should start doing who is the moderating. I think somebody can start so that I'm not getting any feedback. I think whether my things are useful or not, I know because I'm not able
No,
to.
sir. No. It is quite useful, sir, and very motivative, sir.
Yeah. I just wanted to hear from anyone. Young engineers are there and professors, associate professors who are there. I think I would like to.
Sir, one person wants to speak. Yes, sir. Sir, Jagannathan, sir, you can speak, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, all your 9 points are very good. We want your video also for us to see again, and all the 9 points also. And I want one thing, actually, how you could able to come out of unhealthy competition. Normally, what happened in civil engineering field, they will quote less price and do less quality work, improper work otherwise. How you could able to come out of that unhealthy competition?
Yes. Yeah, I fully agree with you. In fact, I do underquoted and take the project, but I never compromise the quality. That is how we are here today. So we never compromised the quality, because in the business, sometimes you only do have getting some profits here. Even if you're not getting the profits, we quote under and take the projects. I give my own examples instead of talking about others. I take my own example. I think 5-6 years ago, we executed a project in heavy water plant in Manugur. There, a 50-meter tall tower has to be constructed. I came to know that what is the tower and all. I came to know that there is a O18 heavy water is going to be produced in the tower. So that O18 is going to be used in cancer medicine. The moment I came to know that this is going to be used in cancer medicine, I told my team to undercode that and take the job. We have taken and successfully completed. I'm very happy that the O18, which I mean, produced there is going to be used in cancer. I cannot do every time because I have the other business, we are earning here and putting somewhere. So competition is there everywhere. Unless competition is there, you will not get the best thing. Competition today only getting doing it undercoating and doing a bad job. Definitely, people are not going to appreciate that. They will not be able to sustain in the business. They may do in one job, but the sustainability, being there for many years, it is very tough. Difficult for them. Nowadays, quality, many of the civil engineers should understand, olden days, there was not even government works also are not very quality oriented, but there's a lot of checks and balances out there now. The quality has been improved a lot. Of course, there is very big scope for improvement further, but it is difficult to sustain in the business without maintaining the quality. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you.
So no questions?
Sir, just we are waiting from the participants, sir. Yes, sir. One question. Murthy, sir, you can ask the questions.
Very good morning, sir. The speech is very, very good. And whatever the 9 obstacles has been displayed and it has been explained to us is very good. The question is now the similar question who has raised that undercoated works in the unhealthy competition. Why everybody knows that it is undercoated as per not their budget? Why clients are accepting this undercoated works? Is there any compulsion or deliberately they are doing, or they want to save some money?
Yeah, the first thing is client always assesses. Let us say company, they'll look at the track record of the company. If the company is already good, doing good, and they're ready to work at a lesser price, why the client will say, why the client want to give at a higher price? Suppose he has a doubt about the person who is quoted under. If he has a doubt, definitely he will not give it to him and he will give it to other person. So capability of the lowest bidder will be assessed by the client. If he is saving some money, definitely he is trying to save. So that is definitely he will go for the lowest bidder only. When it is working up to this fellow, why it is not going to work for other fellow? Recently we lost one job there, one of the contracts. So somebody has underquoted and they have taken. So client goes with the lowest only. But he's also a big company. So he has quoted less than ours. We thought it's not going to be workable beyond this. Other person has taken the job.
Thank you, sir.
So sometime actually undercoating they will do because of miscalculation. They are not knowing correctly, so they make whether that is happening like that. Otherwise, wantedly they are doing undercoating. I am not able to understand.
But there are many cases. In fact, we also in the 30 years of our journey, we saw many items undercoated. I'm not talking about the overall contract. Sometimes items also undercoated. I'll give one example. There's a plastering item. Normally, plastering item means a 20 mm thick plastering, internal plastering, there is a rate. But in that plastering item, there is a putty also mentioned. Our people not seen that. And just plastering rate they are quoted. While executing, we have to apply the putty also. So gone, the item has gone. So mistakes do happen. I mean, the engineers who are working on that, definitely they do mistakes. In fact, one of the items, square meter rate, it is supposed to be square meter, a square foot rate they quote. So again, tender goes up. And sometimes reverse. I mean, 10 square, they give a 10 square meter or 1 square meter rate, he quotes for 10 square meters. Assuming that. I mean, there are mistakes that do happen in the debate because practically we have seen many mistakes happening in the tenders also. But ultimately, the contractor who is quoting has to I mean, overall balancing he has to do, and is a must nowadays. Survival without quality is very, very, very difficult.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
All right,
This is
thank you.
Rambabu from SRKR Engineering College, Bhimaro, sir. I'm an assistant professor. Sir, there is a huge gap between the theory and the practical, sir. How to build this gap, sir?
Yeah. Yeah, I just already mentioned during my speech. Actually, you people, I mean, all the college management has to take an initiative. While studying, you have to have the field experience also. And even the colleges also, you should have the proper, I mean, how the building is done, how the concreting is poured, how the reinforcement is done, how the shuttering is done, all this is done in the campus also. Unless you make understand the students about what is concrete, what is brickwork, what is shuttering, how the reinforcement is tied, what is binding wire, what is the, I mean, aggregate, sand, metal, coarse aggregate, fine aggregate, all those things. You do have the laboratories, but we don't use effectively. And field trials has to be done. So what you are studying, I mean, there's a misconception. And there is something. Whatever you are studying, you are implementing there. But the implementing method, unless you know that, is there anything else, whatever shows you are going to do, are you making any changes out of it?
Hello, sir.
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ఇప్పుడు మనం whatever practical గా మనం theoretical చదివిందే practical గా you are going to implement that. Big difference people talk about it. No, it is not a different. When you designing, yes, designing something different. It's practically it is different. But what you are talking about, what is the measurement? How you have to measure? It's practical. Whatever is in the book, only going to be implemented there. How the concrete has to mix M15, M20, M25, M30. The same thing is going to be implemented in the site also. How the shuttering is made, what is the staging, everything, whatever you're studying, there it's going to be implemented. The people talk, no, theoretical and practical different. No, I don't agree with that. But only thing, while studying, people should understand what is there in the site. So you should have the field trips, and college also should have certain laboratories where you should have practically show the things to the students. Then only it goes into the mind. I mean, imagination is something different. When practically they see, it immediately goes into the mind. I mean, tell you, few supervisors are in my company. They can, I mean, none of the senior engineer can also match. I'm not talking about the designs and all those things. I'm not talking about the correspondence. When you talk about the measurements, when you talk about the, I mean, how the execution, the perfection, that fellow does it. Even one mason who is there with for 30 years, he was a boy when he came to a company, but I can give one building directly to him, drawing, if I give it to him, it completely execute everything, without assistance of any engineer. So there's a practical experience. Why I'm telling this means practical experience should be provided to the students. Then only this gap will be marginal, I mean, minimized or removed.
Sir, I have a small doubt, sir. As you pointed out, there is a 30-year-old experienced mason. You can give him a whole project. In a similar way, if a new engineer who has studied BTech in civil engineering, he goes on to the site, he is not equally respected as the one who is having that much of experience, as you said. Generally, a BTech graduate is given as normal site supervision job or only that kind of things. So I personally have experience when I went for supervision and all. The chief mason, we call in the Mestri, Pedda Mestri, he was like, you go and just sit there, you just read normal books, we have more experience than you, why are you coming and wasting our time? This is the general mode of talking by everybody. So how do we change this, sir? Because I was a very enthusiastic person to go on site and experience, but these experiences can make me very my opinion will change a very drastically, sir. So what changes as industry professionals can you take in giving enthusiasm to new students and also?
I take my own example, since there are many other things. I take my own example. When I joined as an engineer, site engineer, I did take a step now, 30 years ago also is that, sir, we gave them, sir. That is a standard thing. In fact, they was not even giving the respect to me. Talk about that. This also. But after maybe a month or two, they started realizing what I am. So it is the student who is there, he has to make a difference. I think everybody knows about one example. I think it's a story, or I mean, a realistic story. During the construction of Nagarjuna Sagar Bridge, one labor went and asked the chief engineer there, sir, endalo మేమంతా చేసుకుంటాము, we work in the hospital, but you in the roof and you get so much salary and only cleaners. We today after the same thing. So why it is so? Then he asked when he took one round ball, he has taken and they gave him to it on your nail and keep it down. And he tries and sir, how is it possible, sir? It's a smooth one. You cannot do this thing. Yes, what he do? He took this ring and he put it there and puts it there. And so this is why they are paying me. Why they are paying me more means for this only they are paying me. So we have to wait little for showing that, because this fellow is already having thick fellow is already having a lot of experience and all. And I give another example. I was even doing some designs also, because I came fresh from the college, and even while working also I used to design some buildings. I mean, reinforcement design I used to give, architect or somebody else. I designed and I just started implementing in the independent houses. One of the houses, I just gave him this thing. This is what the reinforcement are. I mean, the negative reinforcement you'll cut here only, wherever the reinforcement is there, cut and all this thing. That fellow mason doesn't agree. No. The bars has to be full length. No, cutting should not be there. No. Then top reinforcement, bottom reinforcement, everything is same. He argues. He argues with the land owner also. He tells, sir, I'm having so much experience. This young bacha, he came and he's telling all these things, sir, building will not be safe and all. What landlord says, okay, some extra is going, put it. I mean, that's how plinth beam I was doing. So from the D foundation, they wanted to construct a CRS wall. I said, not required. Only above ground was even wherever the between the plinth beam, there's a ground gap is there. Only we have to fill that. No, they doesn't agree. Strength will not be there, sir. Again, the owner agrees for that. Then I forced to quit from that site. Whereas when you are listening to the mason and not giving importance to engineer, and what is the fun in me be there? And I came out of that. So that is the experiences we all face. I mean, I'm telling you, civil engineering is such a subject. Any damn fellow can comment. Any damn fellow can construct. Today, you see, only engineers are constructing the buildings. Masons, how many masons are becoming the builders? You know the quality, how they are doing it. So there the challenges are there, but we have to overcome only one thing. We should not get nervous. My advice is, you have to prove yourself. Unless you have to gain, first of all, you should gain the knowledge. My only concern is, I'm expressing my concern, when the civil engineers are coming out of the college, they are not coming with a good knowledge. That is the biggest challenge. Unless you have a good knowledge, it is difficult to survive. So please, I'm again once again requesting all the management and staff here to make your civil engineers become very good engineers. The moment they enter the site, they should be respected. It's not only with experience. Sometimes knowledge also gives a respect to you. I hope I answered you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. We have another question in the chat box. Sir, how is COVID-19 going to affect the construction field?
Yeah, it is badly affecting, very, very badly affecting. In fact, I wanted to share with you, I mean, our industry is really badly affected. When lockdown period started and 45 days, we kept the labor with our camps by giving them good food, health and everything, medication and all those things. Suddenly, once the train started and the government declared that you can travel and all, most of the people left. After spending so much money, now we don't have the people to work. Only at least 30%, 40% team is working now. So it's going to have a big impact. The government, some of the decisions I can say premature decisions or timely not taking the decisions has made a big impact on the industry also. They could have, taken a better decisions which have been, but government of Telangana is supporting us in many ways. Somehow we could able to retain some of the people. And anyway, this work, especially majorly, and we are depending on the migrant workers. More than 90% of the people are working here is migrant workers. That's the biggest challenge for us. So this pandemic situation, everybody is worried, afraid of their things. So they have to go back to their natives because of fear. Psychologically, they are very demoralized. Otherwise, they will come. They would have stayed. But everybody thinks, "Arey, you are going to die. Arey, I'm not going to die here. I'm going to die with my family. If at all, I'm going to die." There's psychologically fear was there. Anyway, this now everybody understood what is COVID. The fear of what it was a month back is not the same here today. Today we have to live with it actually now. We have to. There's no other option for us. We have to take every care. Wherever you're traveling, wherever this is, whatever sanitization, mask, and everything, you have to be careful. You have to live. Even if it 3 feet away, if he's there, he's not going to affect you unless you touch him. So we should be very careful. And people are going to come back, and industry is going to be bounced back definitely. Real estate. I'm talking about more about the real estate. Real estate is the only investment which is very safe. When you talk about stock market, you don't know when it is going to happen, what is going to happen, when the bubble is going to burst. When you mutual funds, we don't know whom you are investing, how you are going to get your money back. And the another investment is gold. How much money you are going to invest in the gold? You can't. Again, it's not as safe to keep huge gold with you. So safest investment is real estate only. And again, once again, repeatedly, I keep telling about this. Land is not going to increase. Population is going to increase. Every person need a home. Every person need a shelter. So increasing of population will be there. Land will not be increased. Again, you have to construct the homes for everyone. So matter of time, it may take 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, but construction industry is going to bounce back after everything is settled.
Thank you, sir. We have another question by Yamini Venugopal.
Master's and this time to identity September in. So this can be.
Sorry, I am not able to. It's not audible.
Also even performed. So all the results can be generated. So as you can see.
Sorry, I'm sorry. It's not audible. Can you please?
Sorry,
good morning, sir.
Issue with him. Yamini Venugopal, you may ask your question, madam.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning, madam.
So, what are the unique challenges you have faced in your project, sir?
Challenges many. Every project is a challenge. Time is a challenge. Is a challenge. Precision is a challenge. Yeah. Hello. Sorry.
Very unique challenges, sir.
Unique challenges like in 1992, we have to construct a folded plate roof. I don't know how many people are aware about the folded plate roof here. And the large spans are there now. Most of the people you do with the steel structure. But when you want to go for RCC structure, you can't. 50-meter span and doing RCC is very challenging because of slab thickness, beam depths are going to be huge. There we have used a folded plate roof. It was just only 100 mm thick slab with a V-shaped like this at 12 meters height. I am talking about 1992, 93, rather 93, 92 I started there, but this project I executed in 93. So at 12 meters height, a folded plate roof, first time in my, I was a very young engineer by that time. I finished my engineering in 85, 86, and you know what is my experience that time. But I have done it successfully. I can show that building now also. So challenges are like that. 40-meter tall overhead water reservoir in 1996. The shaft at the bottom is 4 meters by 6 meters. It's a rectangular. When it goes up, it becomes 6 meters by 6 meters shaft. Then again, cantilever, 6 lakh liter capacity, 4 compartments at 40-meter height. It's a challenge. Successfully done. Like that, many challenges. Latur earthquake rehabilitation project, working at that village, remote villages, materials are not available, money is not available, water is not available, and 20-25 kilometers, nothing to. You won't have restaurants and nothing. There's a lot of challenges. Konkan Railway Goa is a challenge. Precision, when you're talking about the industrial buildings, when the prefabricated structures, when just will come and put into this thing, the bolts, foundation bolts have to be perfect. You can't even deviate by for also. There are challenges. You're done. Every project is a challenge. Timelines is a challenge. Quality is a challenge. Workforce availability is a challenge. Day and night we have to work sometime. Leakages is a challenge. Precision is a challenge.
Yes, sir. One more question from Kunda Reddy Sakti. Sir, I'm unmuting you. You may please. Sir, I've unmuted you, sir. Kunda Reddy, sir. You may speak.
Hello, sir. Sir, my name is Konda Reddy.
Yeah, please.
Sir, నాకు వచ్చేసి ఓవరాల్ 8 years ఇండస్ట్రియల్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఉంది. శోభా డెవలప్ బెంగళూరు, తర్వాత TUV SUD సౌత్ ఏషియన్ ప్రైవేట్ లిమిటెడ్, మీకు ఐడియా ఉంటది.
Shobha, I didn't heard about other company what you're talking.
TUV SUD సౌత్ ఏషియన్ లిమిటెడ్, క్వాలిటీ కంట్రోల్ థర్డ్ పార్టీ ఏజెన్సీ.
Yes.
ఓకే, యాక్చువల్లీ ఏంటంటే సార్, నేను కూడా ఇందులో IRE-లో అసిస్టెంట్ ప్రొఫెసర్ గా వర్క్ చేశా 1 year బ్యాక్. ఆఫ్టర్ 8 years ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్, ఇండస్ట్రియల్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ తర్వాత నేను అబ్జర్వ్ చేసింది ఏంటి అంటే, ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ స్టూడెంట్స్ కి ఎట్ ఎ టైం ఇండస్ట్రీకి సమ్ గ్యాప్ బాగుంది యాక్చువల్లీ. ఇప్పుడు మనకి జస్ట్ లైక్ బీటెక్ కంప్లీట్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఒక బోర్డు వచ్చింది, నిక్మార్ అని చెప్పేసి. అదేంటి, HCC, L&T ఇలా పెద్ద పెద్ద కంపెనీస్ అన్ని, ఆర్గనైజేషన్స్ అన్ని ఒక బోర్డు క్రియేట్ చేసి నిక్మార్ అని చెప్పి వాళ్ళని అందులో ట్రైన్ చేసి వాళ్ళ కంపెనీలోకి ప్లేస్మెంట్ తీసుకుంటున్నారు యాక్చువల్లీ. సేమ్ అలాగే మన ఆర్క్ కంపెనీ నుంచి కూడా, ఆర్క్ కంపెనీ కూడా టైఅప్ విత్ సమ్ కాలేజెస్ లైక్ IRE, మల్లారెడ్డి, సమ్వేర్ CMR ఇలాగా టైఅప్ పెట్టుకుని మీరు ఒక ఇంటర్వ్యూ కండక్ట్ చేసి ఒక 40 members 30 members ఇంటర్న్షిప్ లో తీసుకుని ఒక 3 months ప్రాజెక్ట్ టైంలోనే మీ కంపెనీలోనే యూజ్ చేసుకుంటే వాళ్ళకి ఎట్ ఎ టైం థియరిటికల్ గా అండ్ ప్రాక్టికల్ గా నాలెడ్జ్ అక్కడ గెయిన్ అవుతుంది ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్. ఆఫ్టర్ దట్ మీరు 40 మందిలో ఫిల్టర్ చేసి ఒక 10 members ఆర్ ఎల్స్ మీ రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ని బట్టి 20 members 2 members అనేది మీరు తీసుకుంటే బాగుంటది. పాయింట్ నెంబర్ 1. పాయింట్ నెంబర్ 2 వచ్చేసి మోటివేషనల్ కాకుండా సార్, ఒకసారి మీరు టెక్నికల్ గా క్లాస్ తీసుకుంటే బాగుంటుంది సార్. అంటే ఇక్కడ ఫ్యాకల్టీ కూడా ప్రాక్టికల్ నాలెడ్జ్ లేకపోవడం, ఇండస్ట్రీలో పని చేయకపోవడం వల్ల అసలు ఇండస్ట్రీలో ఏమేమి డిపార్ట్మెంట్స్ ఉంటాయి, జస్ట్ లైక్ ప్లానింగ్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్, ఎస్టిమేషన్స్, క్వాంటిటీ, QS డిపార్ట్మెంట్, ఇలాగా ఏమేమి డిపార్ట్మెంట్స్ ఉంటాయి, ఎలాగా ఈ ఇండస్ట్రీలోకి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత ఏ స్ట్రీమ్ లోకి మీరు వెళ్తే బాగుంటది, ఇలా ఓవర్ వ్యూలో చెప్పే ఐడియా కూడా కొంచెం ఫ్యాకల్టీలో కూడా లేదు యాక్చువల్లీ. ఒక టైంలో మీరు ఫ్యాకల్టీని కూడా తీసుకెళ్లి, ఫ్యాకల్టీకి ఇప్పుడు FDP ఎలా కండక్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు, ఇండస్ట్రియల్ డెవలప్మెంట్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లాగా మీరు కూడా ఫ్రీ ఆఫ్ కాస్ట్ లోనో ఆర్ఎల్స్ వాళ్ళు వర్క్ చేస్తారు, ఆ వర్క్ ఫ్రీగా యూజ్ చేసుకుని వాళ్ళకి నాలెడ్జ్ గెయిన్ అవుతుంది, ఎట్ ఎ టైం స్టూడెంట్స్ కూడా బెనిఫిట్ అవుతుంది. అది నా అడ్వైజ్, 2 advices సార్.
Yeah, 2 very good points you raised, Mr. Konda Reddy. First, you talk about NICMAR. NICMAR only for the big organizations kaadu. Anybody can join NICMAR.
Yes sir. But very expensive.
I know. Of course, that when there's a quality, there will be expensive. It's not a government organization, so definitely there's an expensive. But to second point, what you're talking about is we do that. Cheppindi, we have been doing it. We are tied up with NAC. I think you must heard about National Academy of Consulting.
Yes sir.
So NAC every year they have programs. And postgraduate programs are there, undergraduate programs are there, and there are training programs are there. I frequently visit their campus regularly, and I mean as a motivational and whatever you call it, I speak to the students regularly every year. Whenever the fresh batch starts, I am there in the class along with the Honorable Minister, and when the projects also, most of the time I'm there. I mean, they call me regularly, and I'm the students also. My company takes the trained students, and I mean, every time we are giving the job opportunity also. And many colleges also come to us for the internships, including Mallareddy College. Many engineers comes, and BVRIT coming, and some IITians also come to our organization, and they have the internship. I mean, the internship with us. So we do some of the interns turn into employees. It's a journey. Somebody gain good experience in our company, and they go to other company. I'm happy about it. I'm not this thing. So we do train the engineering student. I'm very passionate about it. And any engineering college who really wants my this thing is, I'm ready to extend my support as a experience. I may not teach the what do you call the numbers, what you're talking about, that there are the lecturers who are going to teach, but practically whatever the thing I can share my experience, I'm ready to share my experience. Definitely I would love to do that.
యా టెక్నికల్లీ వాళ్ళకి సపోర్ట్ కావాలి సార్. యాక్చువల్లీ థింగ్ ఏంటి అంటే ప్రాక్టికల్లీ వెరీ సౌండ్ అసలు చాలా బాగుంది. కానీ ప్రాక్టికల్ నాలెడ్జ్ లోకి వస్తల్లోకి ఒక ల్యాపింగ్ అంటే ఏంటి, ఒక స్టిర్రప్ సైజెస్ ఏంటి, ఇలా వెరీ ఫైన్ బేసిక్స్ కూడా చాలా మంది తెలియట్లేదు. ఇఫ్ ఎవరైనా ఒక స్టూడెంట్ వచ్చి అడిగినా సరే అంటే చెప్పేదానికి కొంతమంది ఆ ఐడియా లేకపోతున్నారు. అది నేను చెప్పేది.
మనకు ఒకప్పుడు సివిల్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ అంటే ఒకటే కనిపించేది, ప్యూర్ లెటర్ పట్టుకొని కనిపించేది. ఓన్లీ సివిల్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ ఆల్ ఇన్ వన్ ఉంటుంది. టుడే there is a quality surveyor, quality assurance, there is a planning engineer, there is a
estimations, contracts, tendering department, etc.
so many things are there. I mean, ఇప్పుడు ఒకప్పుడు డాక్టర్ అంటే ఒకళ్ళ ఎంబీబీఎస్ డాక్టర్ మనకు కనిపించేది. నౌ యు సీ హౌ మెనీ, ఐ మీన్ దేర్ ఆర్ సో మెనీ లైక్ దట్. ఫైన్ ట్యూనింగ్ అవుతుంది ప్రతి చోట. సో డెఫినెట్లీ ద ఓన్లీ has to be go to the students, they should know about it. So any college, anybody wants my services, definitely I'm ready to extend.
Yes sir, sure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Kondareddy sir. Next is Medasri. I think she has a question. Madam, we are unmuting you, madam, but it's up to you to unmute and speak for yourself. I think she's not available. Dr. M.V. Ravi Babu.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, Ramireddy garu. Now question, and so my question is towards the policy. Okay, so you people are working in the industry, and it is a really alarming situation for the civil engineering, because industry is growing, but opportunities is coming down, which is a really very debatable time to make this issue in the globally. The reason is, suppose in Australia someone want to do survey, he need to go for only recognized authorized survey person, but in India it is not happening. Just now even some people are telling so many departments, even you told that so many departments, so much opportunity, but unfortunately this core civil engineers certified kind of certification, of course policies is there, but the graduate, the proper graduate person need to be done and signed, then only things should forward. In that case, I'm sure no one civil engineering is going to be unemployed, if I'm not wrong. So in that point of view, of course, these things everyone knows that. Can we make, this is a really good time to make the noise of the civil engineers in the India wide, especially. I can just forget it about globally, because in Indian situation, construction is heavily is happening. Why should I call as a mason, which he don't know anything? So why government is allowing only those guys? And can you ask the planning, before submitting the planning or construction, ask them to do who is your construction person, what is his qualification, whether he has done any affiliated or any diploma, I mean any recognized kind of thing, or this way can you make from your side towards FICCI or whatever it is. In that case, I'm sure any one civil engineer is going to be like unemployed. So what do you say this?
Sir, this is actually, yeah, it is a fact what you're told a bit, but this I wanted to, share you a few things.
Yes, please.
Whenever you're applying for a plan, there is a prerequisite. It has to be signed by a licensed civil engineer who has to have so much experience. I'm talking about the planning. Design also, it has to be approved by a structural consultant that is there. And the execution also, we have to give the name of the engineer also is there. There's a rule already is there. But unfortunately, in implementation, many things are not happening right way. But only for things, actually, now you're talking about the major construction things, everybody is engaging. The masons things, what you're talking about is a small and very, minimum. The mason is becoming a builder, that's a different. That is how now the RERA has come into picture. The fellow doesn't know what is rule and what is this thing. Just they will take a 500 yards plot and he will just go on constructing 600 yards, 1000 yards. He will put whatever 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 square feet, he will build. But that is not the case now. Now the case is the government has come up with a rule. Now DSB pass, everybody has to know about it also. So building permission is going to be online completely from 2nd June. That's going to be launched. Wherein, up to 500 square meter, you need not to take any approval, just deemed approval they are giving. But when you're executing, if you're not executing as per the plan, they are going to have it. They have a right to demolish. They are giving an undertaking to that. So the things are going to make a difference shortly. The process, it's in the process. So government also is realizing all these things. And why this RERA, Real Estate Regulatory Authority, Development Authority, why it has come to the picture? Because there are people who are doing mischief, construct, take the permission for something, construct something, and commit something, don't deliver. They will tell 2 years, they will take 3 years. They promise this thing, they won't execute. Like that, so many things are happening. So RERA is in place. The government also is going to take strict action into this thing. Sir, another thing, sir, you're talking about every engineer. All the major construction company which are this thing, they are running with all good civil engineers only. There's a big lack of civil engineering, talented civil engineers. I'm talking about it. Industry is ready to absorb the talented civil engineers. I have been my own experiences. We are not getting the right talent. Why these people are not able to engage? I'm very sorry to say, I've interviewed one team of people. I saw their interview. All the 3 persons I called once into my cabin and I interviewed them. Very sorry to say. 10th class knowledge also they doesn't have. I'm sorry to say that. Because I personally experienced. They are the engineering graduates, 70%, 75%. Who has to be blamed for this, sir? I'm not talking generalizing. I have practically I'm talking. I interviewed them. My team told sir they don't have experience and all that. Then I just wanted to see that. But you see, that was a very, very bad, sir. So we have to produce good civil engineers. They have a scope. As you rightly say, yes, every civil engineer can be engaged if he is going the right direction. I think.
Yeah, that's I agree definitely. And wherever you find that the gap knowledge is missing, can all engineering institutions can make that gap to be introduced at least end of the course, so that it can be done. So that's what very frequent syllabus revamping, or I can say many institutions are doing, but it's not towards in that way. But what I mean to say that as industry persons, need to be pushed that we need to have a civil engineer. It's not only one big construction, okay? It should be a normal construction way also. And at the same time, company also, is there any ratio people are maintaining? Suppose you are constructing maybe 1,000 apartments. So is there any ratio planning this many people are there for the out people or graduate people? So like that, it is pushing means definitely I'm sure it can be fulfilled if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, making numbers like this and making a rule for that. With a person who is constructing 100 apartment, 200 apartments, 300 apartments, definitely they are going to have a sufficient team. Today, we are in the race and lot of competition is there. Every developer is thinking, how can I do better? I want to sell. why person will come and buy with me? The quality they look at it, the price they look at it, the elevation they look at it, the location they will look at it. So every developer is aware. Nobody is compromising. And when you're talking about the smallest things, it is difficult to control. But for this, only government has to take a lead role in that. You cannot say that a small somebody is constructing a home. Can you put this thing that this fellow has to engage one civil engineer? I mean, it is little difficult for them to engage also. That becomes expensive. They rather they go with a mason. So the quality of, I mean, people should realize. There was a time only draftsmen used to give the plans, but the thing is changed now. There is an architect, there is a structural engineer. Now there is a interior designer. Everybody is engaged in three different passions. So the trend is going on. When you compare with the other cities, they are well, I mean, they're in advanced stage. Everything is pre-planned. Every dates are fixed. The person will come on that date. He will fix the, I mean, structure, and next day he will come. I mean, but we are not gone into that level yet. So it takes time. We are in the evolving stage. Still, we call, even after 70 plus years, we are still calling it the developing country. We are not developed yet. That's the challenge for us. Yeah. Next. Hello. Host Vandana.
Sir. Just there is a small question from the participant in the chat box. Madhashri, just you can unmute yourself, madam, and you can ask the question. I think she may not be present, sir. So are there any questions from the participants, sir? Sir, I hope there are no questions from the participants.
Anyone from your side, Vandana, or I don't know who is your name? I think your
Sudhir, sir. Sudhir.
Sudhir, yeah. I think you can wrap it up if you're anybody else.
Okay. Sir, my last question is that actually you said that COVID-19 has a great impact due to the migrant laborers on the industry, especially the rail industry. So is there any chance that provides the increase of the employment around the Hyderabad, around or in Hyderabad?
Employment already is there. No, that's, I mean, employment, lot of opportunity there. Whole country lo chuskunte only Hyderabad and Telangana is doing the best in the real estate. Lot of opportunities there. Lot of opportunities there. So COVID-19 is a stopgap. So when now today we are looking, everybody is looking at a survival only there. Nobody is looking at the investments and I mean projects and all. If somebody comes to me and to start a project now, means I will definitely step back today because I will wait for maybe, because it is uncertain. This COVID-19, whether it's going to end by end of June or July, August, who can give a guarantee? Somebody says in June, then 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs. I mean, somebody says like that. So let us not, I mean, it's not in anybody's hands. Now today's our thing is only stay safe. Let us see that COVID doesn't affect us. Myself, my family, my staff, my workers. That's the only thing we can do. So opportunities are abundant in Telangana. Yes, it's going to be flourish again. Once this settles, we are going to bounce back and going to do the greater pace.
Sir, are there any participants still you want? Yes, sir. Kondareddy sir again wants to ask one more question, sir. Sir, you can unmute yourself.
హలో
యా చెప్పండి కొండరెడ్డి గారు.
సార్ రామరెడ్డి గారు మీకు సార్ సుధీర్ సార్ ఎవరైతే ఇది ప్రోగ్రామ్ కండక్ట్ చేశారో వాళ్ళకి నేను చెప్తున్నా యాక్చువల్లీ సార్ నెక్స్ట్ టైం అన్వర్డ్స్ ఇలా రామరెడ్డి గారు వచ్చినప్పుడు సార్ రామరెడ్డి గారు మీతోటి కూడా సేమ్ మీలాగే ఇండస్ట్రీస్ నుంచి ఎవరెవరైతే ఉన్నారో వాళ్ళందరినీ తీసుకొచ్చి ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్ కండక్ట్ చేయమని చెప్తున్నా సార్ కాలేజ్ లో. సేమ్ అట్ ఎ టైం ఆ కాలేజ్ మొత్తం గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ కంపెనీస్ ఎవరైతే పార్టిసిపేట్ చేస్తారో వాళ్ళందరికీ కూడా మన కాలేజ్ దగ్గర నుంచి సమ్ ఏంటి అగ్రిమెంట్ లాగా బాండ్ లాగా ఏదైతే అనుకుంటారో అలాగా మన స్టూడెంట్స్ ని అక్కడ పంపించి ట్రైన్అప్ చేయడం బెస్ట్ అనిపిస్తుంది. ఎందుకంటే 4-2 నుంచి మొత్తం పిల్లలంతా ఖాళీగానే ఉంటారు, అందరూ ప్రాజెక్ట్ చేస్తానే ఉంటారు ప్రాజెక్టు అని చెప్పేసి, లేదంటే అడ్వాన్స్డ్ కండిషన్ 4-1 లోనైనా సరే.
So I wanted to share with you one thing. Mallaradi Engineering College, I think it's become a deemed university now. So I'm there in the board of what do you call board of
studies.
Board of studies. Yeah, board of studies. I the board of studies. I gave my inputs in their syllabus making also, and we have a tie-up with Mallaradi Engineering College institutions, and also I'm happy to share with that and Kalinga University in Bhubaneswar. They are also with the Kalinga Institute is one of the most renowned university. So I had been to the university. I gave my lecture there also to the civil engineering students, and they also have a tie-up with ARC. So already we have that.
యాక్చువల్లీ మా శోభ నేను శోభలో చేసినప్పుడు మాకు ఎలా ఉంటుంది అంటే సార్ జిఏటీస్ ని తీసుకుంటారు, గ్రాడ్యుయేట్ ఇన్ ట్రైనీ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఆర్ ఎల్స్ డిప్లొమా ఇన్ ట్రైనీ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ కింద తీసుకుని వాళ్ళని ఒక్కొక్కళ్ళని ఒక్కొక్క డిపార్ట్మెంట్ లో వేసేస్తారు. అలాగే నా కింద ట్రైన్ అప్ అయిన వాళ్ళు 6 మెంబర్స్. ఆ 6 మెంబర్స్ ఇప్పటి వరకు కూడా టచ్ లో ఉన్నారు. ఒక్కొక్కళ్ళు యూకేలో మన యుఏఈలో సెటిల్ అయ్యారు, కొంతమంది ఇక్కడ సెటిల్ అయ్యారు. ఆల్ ఆర్ వాళ్ళు వచ్చేటప్పటికి నిల్ నాలెడ్జ్ మీరు ఇప్పుడు కూడా రిపీట్ చేశారు. సారీ టు సే దిస్, ఎవరు మంచి ఏంటి స్టూడెంట్స్ రావట్లేదు, ఫ్యాకల్టీ మీరు బాగా చెప్పాలి చేయాలి అంటున్నారు. యాక్చువల్లీ కంపెనీస్ నుంచి కూడా ప్రోత్సాహం ఉంటేనే ఇక్కడ అనేది అది రన్ అవుతుంది సార్. ఇక్కడ కంపెనీస్ నుంచి లేకుండా ఇక్కడ ఏం కాదు. ఒకటి మళ్ళీ ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద మొత్తం బ్యాచులర్ ఆఫ్ సివిల్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ కంప్లీట్ అయ్యి 80% వచ్చిన వాళ్ళని కూడా ప్లేస్మెంట్ లోకి తీసుకోమంటే ఇప్పుడు కంపెనీస్ ఆఫర్ చేస్తున్న శాలరీస్ 8,000 to 10,000. అది రాంగ్. యాక్చువల్లీ మీరు మంచి క్యాండిడేట్స్ నే తీసుకోండి, వాళ్ళనే మంచిగా సెలెక్ట్ చేసి వాడినే తీసుకోండి. వాడికి మినిమం బేసిక్ శాలరీ ఒక 15, 18, 20 యాజ్ పర్ హ్యూమ్ అది ఉంది కదా, దాన్ని బేస్ చేసుకుని మళ్ళీ అగైన్ వాళ్ళ కింద అండర్ గ్రాడ్యుయేషన్ కింద లేదా డిప్లొమా క్యాండిడేట్స్ నో ఏదైతే మీరు తీసుకున్నారో వాడి కింద దానికి ట్రైన్ అప్ చేయమని చెప్పండి సార్. ఎందుకంటే ఇది మా ఇన్ఫోసిస్ క్యాంపస్ సేమ్ థింగ్ ఫాలో అవుతుంది. అట్ ఏ టైం శోభ కూడా సేమ్.
Every company has a policy. My company has a policy. We will not take the things like that. We will not pay 8,000 or 9,000 or something like that. There are people, I mean, another thing, percentage తీసుకున్న వాళ్ళందరూ కరెక్ట్ గా లేరు. I just gave an example. So when the person doesn't know anything, I'm not calling him as a employee. First of all, he has to be trained, undergone training. He has come with a zero. Not zero, negative I'm talking about it. Because zero means something, but already he has a degree.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Sir, maybe there is a problem from the SARS side.
Okay, sir. Ade Sudhir garu, okay na?
Sir, okay, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, sir.
Sir.
Contract class aindi, I think something.
Okay, sir.
Anyway, I think it's time for us to leave.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Hope I answered.
I request Vamshi Mohan sir, Dr. Vamshi Mohan sir, the head of the department, to deliver a few words about this lecture.
Yeah.
Sir, a very good morning, sir. Ramreddy Garu.
Good morning, Adi.
We have very good time in the morning session. A very good lecture, motivating lecture, and a good discussion also has taken place.